Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast where various black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G, and today we got B.
Yeah.
And we'll probably have more people join in later throughout the podcast. Now, with that being said, on your way in, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe or follow depending on your platform. Also, make sure to check out the new Instagram. I know I haven't been working on it. I need to work on it a lot more. But we do have an Instagram, opinion_peace_network over there on Instagram, which I just said. Also, make sure to check the description down below for all the links to the audio platforms. If you want the audio version of this podcast, I know this is audio, but that is more of an audio platform. Just the links are down below. And also, make sure to check out the Cliff channel, Fit the Description Podcast, over there on YouTube. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Anybody else got anything they want to add before we move ahead? Anybody? Any taker?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
This is more on a personal level, but it has nothing to do with this.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know I wasn't the only one that was the third.
What do you mean you didn't know you were the only one that wasn't a third?
Because I'm looking at somebody else's name that says third.
There are. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
I've been the third since the third episode.
Oh man.
100 points for anybody that remembers the initial. Nope.
Nope.
No, there's only one person who would know it. He ain't on here right now.
Oh, really? You think somebody would know?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. I'm game with that. But
Wait, do you know?
No. I don't know.
I figured G would know. But
No. Well, okay,
else.
I knew, but I forgot because we had this conversation like, at this point, was it 4 years ago? So it's been a couple of years.
We did?
Yeah, yes, we did on an earlier podcast. And yeah, it's just been, I just forgot. That's why I said there's one other person that will know that's on this podcast, but he ain't here right now.
Interesting.
Me and B were having this debate yesterday, a couple of weeks ago. B, you there? And so the debate was, is sex a duty in marriage? I said, yes, it is. A marriage cannot last without sex. B is on the opposite of that. So, B, if you want to kind of clarify your point of view.
Damn, I can't believe I was right. I was fucking right. I agree with B.
How come? Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. I ain't saying this again.
No. Okay, go ahead, B. I'll let you explain. Because I want to hear from Jane. I want to see what he guys think. I'm very curious.
When two adults get into a marriage, there's no guarantee to anything. The only guarantee in the marriage is the law, because you signed a divorce but the marriage license, which includes the third party. All right. Anything within the marriage between two adults is the decision between two adults. So if you value sex to be an important piece in that marriage, you got to make sure both you and you and her agree upon that. And that's the agreement upon you two as adults. And everything that you want in that marriage is between you two, her and you as the adults. There's no rules or anything that is written that is required for a marriage to by default have. Sex is not required for a marriage. It's not. It's agrees upon you and her to have it. You're not to have sex in the marriage. And that was pretty much my argument with this whole thing. As for D, you can say your argument.
Yeah, and like I said, my counter to that is name me one marriage where people ain't super old that survives without sex. And understand we also looked this up. Even Google, which I can even bring up the picture, even when you looked up on Google, they said 76 or 79% of marriages don't last, and they said even to 20% of marriages that are sexless may last. They didn't even say it will last. They said those may last. So again, the thing that you had to tell me is that how can you had to prove to me that a marriage can survive without sex? Because I could tell you, I don't know anybody. Personally, I don't know anybody personally whose marriage survives without having sex. I do not know one person.
Now go back. What is your original question?
Is sex a duty within marriage?
Okay, is that a duty within marriage?
I will say yes.
I did not. That is a duty. So that means between you and her as adults.
I would say
the question wasn't do you need sex in order to have the relationship last? If that's the case, yes. Most relationships will not last without sex between you and her. It will not last.
I would say almost all. I would say almost all relationships will not last.
No, because like I said, you have to put in different scenarios. Like I said, you don't know the power of love between you and your partner.
Yes, but I do know the majority of the results and majority of I put it like this: people who I know personally never last. Once sex in, relationships pretty much at the end.
Yeah, but like I said, there are people that'll stay by their partner through thick and thin. Don't get me wrong. No. Yes, if we're talking about heart, I'm talking about the entire thing. We're not talking about just a moment of hardship. Yeah, that happens in every relationship. But we're talking about just not having sex within a marriage. I've never seen a marriage last without it. And that's why I say it's a duty because to me it's a duty because if you don't do it, it won't last. I've never seen it. The only people I've ever heard personally that actually last are people are like in like their 60s or 70s and been together for like decades. But once again, the question is not if the relationship will last or not. I said the duties of a marriage is between you and her. That's a requirement between you and her. It's not a written rule that sex is involved within the marriage.
Nobody understands what B is saying though. So you gotta talk with your chest up, my guy, because they ain't hearing you.
Oh my god, man. All right. So just like in any other relationship, there is no rules. There is no when you join a relationship, everything's out in the open. Nothing's guaranteed anything, right? When I become friends with any of y'all, there's nothing there until you set a standard, until you set rules of what this is actually is. Okay, what's the boundaries? What's required in this friendship or partnership? While having that conversation, there's no friendship there. There's nothing. Then that's what marriage is as well. If you go into a relationship with this woman, is not gonna be nothing there until you both set standards of what you actually want. Okay, if you want sex to be a thing, yes, you both got to agree upon it. If she don't agree that she don't want sex, then you gotta walk away or deal with the relationship.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. But that's my point. Most people walk away. it doesn't last. Or they cheat and walk away, it never lasts. That's why I say it's a duty because to me that makes sense if you can do that and make sure it lasts.
Saying is when you say duty, you're saying it in a way is an ironclad thing. That's sex is marriage.
No, I
That's
didn't
that.
say no. I didn't say sex is marriage, but I think sex is necessary to keep a marriage alive.
Yeah, but that's not the question that you're answering. You
Yes,
know,
like I said, the question is: Do I think sex is meaning for me? Do I think sex is necessary to keep a marriage alive? I'm like, yes, 110% yes.
that wasn't the
I think
question
you
though.
changed the question, sir.
No, I said, do I think sex is a duty? Yes, because you cannot your marriage. I have not seen a marriage last without
Pause.
sex.
That was the real question.
Go ahead. What?
That was the real question. Is sex
The
a
real
duty?
question was, is sex a duty? But
Yes.
you changed the question a second ago, leaving it alone. I'm just refereeing.
Okay. Well, I still say sex is a duty because a marriage cannot survive without sex.
Is
Oh, B, you
sex?
won. Congratulations.
I'm listening. Go ahead, James. I want to hear your point.
Thank you.
Nah, B, you win, bro. Good argument.
No, no, no. You're going to say something. I want to hear your perspective.
Oh, I ain't gonna say shit.
Oh, well.
Actually, I am gonna say something. All hell B, the grand champion of this argument. Awesome argument.
Yeah, I'm gonna pawn that crown now.
Right. I'll print you one right now.
I mean, I don't agree because nobody's really got to give me anything that proves my point otherwise. So, but if you want to say, go ahead.
Different than the question you're saying.
No, go ahead, James. You're about to say something.
Nah, I'm cool. Mobile.
The fact that you had to change the question prove a lot.
What? Okay, where did I change the question?
You changed it.
What was my exact words? Let's start there.
I'm not doing that. I'm not a robot.
Mhm.
Basically, G, they're telling you that you went from it's a duty in the marriage to a marriage won't survive without it. That's two different things.
Well, no, that's why I consider it a duty because marriage cannot survive without doing it. That's why I'd say it's a duty.
Marriage won't. Okay. Okay. The reason that I agreed with B before I even knew, I already knew it was gonna be some bullshit, is because what you're saying is not accurate. If you look at it, a marriage will survive without fucking sex. Like, if you would have personalized it, I may have sided with you. A marriage that I have would never last without sex. It's not a duty, but it would never fucking work. Because I would end up cheating. So it doesn't matter. But as putting a blanket statement out there, like it will never last, is a duty still? No. I mean, the duties that you're supposed to have in that contract, I mean, it just depends on what's in the contract. But I never heard anybody, and I've been to plenty of weddings, go, you have to honor, obey, and have sex with this person every fucking day. I've never heard that said at a marriage.
Well, of course, that doesn't need to be said, but I think it's
No,
I'm
no,
not gonna
no.
say,
You
go
just
ahead.
said it's a duty.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
Duties
that
have to be explained out in a contract.
I never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah.
So if I said you got to give me 4,000 cheeseburgers and by tomorrow, that's what your duty is, right? You have to go make me some burgers.
Right. And that's will be the agreement and a requirement between you and her.
I mean, I
She,
think
she,
you still
she
calculating.
either gonna take it and agree upon it, that makes it her duty to do that, or she decline it and then that's that. You can
And
either
then, but then the question then goes back to my question. Then does that marriage survive?
But that's okay. That's a separate question. Like you
separate
said, the
question.
marriage survives or not. Like I told you, my marriage would not, but it's still not a duty. That's where you fucked up. You made you made the basis of your statement incorrect. It can't be a duty. A duty is not to fucking cheat because it's in there. You're supposed to,
Yeah.
not fucking cheat.
Yeah, no, I
It
agree with
says
that.
that.
I agree with that.
Yeah. But it doesn't say you have to fucking do this dude or this chick every fucking day.
No, no, no.
Doesn't say that.
I'm not saying you got to do it every day, but I'm saying without it, I don't think a marriage doesn't last.
Regardless, you don't put any kind of clause in there.
No, because I think that's something that's generalized and that should be automatically recognized. Because again, I've never personally seen a marriage last without it.
Really?
Never seen a marriage last without it, unless these people have been
How many
together.
marriages have you seen in your life?
I can't count. Can't count.
Really?
Yeah, I can't count.
So how many marriages are in the world?
More than I could count.
Okay, how many have you been witness to?
Plenty. I can't give you a number.
So you've been witness to all the marriages in the world?
Not all the marriages, but a
How the fuck
significant
would you
amount.
know how would you know if a marriage can survive or not without it?
It's because from my own personal experience, doing research, talking to people who I didn't know, even talking to friends over the years, like everybody who I've talked to, researched, seen, pretty much have never seen it last.
Holy shit, man, you're a creepy motherfucker, aren't you?
No, I just have questions and I'm looking for answers.
Nah, man, you just said you asked random strangers, hey, bro, you be fucking in your marriage or what?
I wouldn't say I asked random strangers.
You just said that.
Well, no, I wouldn't say I asked
Fuck
random strangers.
that.
Oh, wait a
Roll the
minute.
tape
Hold
back.
on, wait.
Here's
Let
what
me
I'm
try. Let me
getting
tell
to.
you. Let me
Nah,
tell you.
fuck that.
No, I'm trying to tell you.
Said it.
I'm
just
trying
said.
to tell you. Holy
Just
shit.
said I asked random ass people
Yeah.
about their sex life and their marriage. Now,
Well, okay, fine. Let me clarify. It's not that I asked. It's just the conversation comes up and we have a discussion about it.
ain't no conversation with no random ass person coming up and you fuck. Oh my God. What kind of weird motherfuckers do you hang out with? So me and my wife last night, we was fucking. You don't even know this person. You just on the street corner and this dude's at a red light. Like, yeah, me and my wife.
I mean, no, it's never really in that kind of setting. It's usually
You
in a
just said random people. Where the fuck
yes, because
you random people at?
because parties just out about different gatherings.
So what parties you go to with a bunch of random ass people that talk to you about their sex life?
Like I said, it just comes up sometimes. It's not like it's not like an everyday thing. Or every time I go, it happens. But yeah, it happens every now and then again.
Okay. Anybody else in this podcast has had a random ass person at a fucking party start talking to you about fucking their wife? I'll
Uh,
wait.
Nope.
Only with swingers, but
Yeah, it's that question that conversation was followed up by some weird shit, bro. I'm telling you, G just don't want to admit it. Oh my God. What the fuck you be into, bro? I don't even, oh man.
No, it's not that. It's just when I'm at depending on the gathering, just sometimes people gotta talk. That's all.
What gathering?
Just some gatherings sometimes.
Were they random?
Yeah, they were random. I didn't know. It just common. We just met and just had conversations.
No, you have to have a conversation about this dude or this chick boning their fucking significant.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know if the conversation went like that, but yeah, the kind of topic came up.
Yeah, no, you can't say you don't know if the conversation went like that. That is what you just said 5 seconds ago. Oh shit. Oh yeah, man. All right, for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, no. I'll be honest. Yeah, no. I've talked to people I didn't know, and they brought it up. It wasn't like I asked for it. They just brought it up.
So you didn't even ask. So this wasn't even warranted. The guy just walked up and started showing you Polaroids of his chick. Like, hey, you know what I'll be doing, right? I'll be getting all free with this shit. And if she wasn't getting nasty like this, we would not be together no more.
Never about a wife. No.
That's what the.
No. What you said, what you specifically said, he showed up with his pictures and stuff. I said no, never with the wife, not in that setting. But that has a conversation came up where a dude was talking about his sex life. That
That's not the fucking question. You said marriages. Yes, I've been talking to random people about their marriages, and now you telling me, not their wife. No, they be just talking to me about random shit.
Yeah, that's one of those conversations that has came up just randomly.
What is that? Okay, cool. Hey, you know the Dodgers had a fucking nigga named Hideo Nomo once, right?
Okay, what's that do with anything?
I don't know. I just thought we was talking about random bullshit that has nothing to do with this conversation.
What are you talking about? Wait a minute. No, I was saying like where did I get all my information from? That's what I did.
You're okay. But what you're basing this on is if a marriage would survive.
Yes.
And I said you talk to random people about their sex life and obviously a marriage.
Well,
You're
yeah, but I
saying
mean,
no.
but it's not how you frame it. It doesn't come up like how you frame it. But yes, I have talked to
Nobody
random.
knows what you're talking about anymore, dog. Sorry.
Well, no, it's just the way you're framing it because you're like, oh, well, I just go to random people talk. No, that's not how it happens.
You said it, not me.
No, you're the one who said I just go up to random people and talk to them about the sex. I said that's not how it happens. That's never how it happens. Normally, like I said, I'm just chilling at a location and meet up with some people. We talking, and sometimes the conversation comes up. It's not like I initiate it. It just the conversation came up. And yes, it happened a couple of
Yeah,
times.
you're gonna edit all this shit out of the fucking podcast because when you hear yourself talk, do you actually hear yourself talk? You literally just said, "Oh man, I be talking to random ass people about it." Okay, but we're in the context of a marriage, so they have to
Yes,
be a husband and wife, or
Ye-
at least one or the other.
yes, it was one of them. Yes, yes, have
But
heard.
you just said you don't.
Well, no, it's just again, I'll rephrase it. It's the framing that you're putting in it. Yes. I talked to this random people who I met? They brought up the conversation. Yes, absolutely, because the conversation just popped up.
So it goes back to my first stuff. You have random ass people you meet, and they're just like, "Hey, I be boning my wife every day."
I mean, no, like I said, it's not. That's not the right framing, but that's not really how it comes up. It's
Shout
just,
out to Rick James.
yeah,
Shit, I don't know what else to fucking tell you because
yeah. Well, no, because the way
gonna
you're
keep
framing it,
bringing up
that's not
shit.
how it works. You're
I'm not
framing it.
framing shit.
You are framing it.
I'm not building a house, motherfucker. I ain't framing nothing.
You
All
are
right,
absolutely framing it.
bullshit. I'm sitting here asking a question and you're answering it, but you're answering it and not knowing what the fuck you're talking about. I think you're drunk.
How the hell do I know? How do I not know what I'm talking about when you weren't even there when it happened?
Really? Because you obviously weren't there either, because you don't know whether the motherfucker was married or not, or if you knew him or not, or what the fuck? You've changed your statement 20
How
times.
did I change my statement?
You said, "Oh no, that's not what it is. This is not they wife. No, no, no.
Oh well,
Oh
I
yeah,
never.
yeah, yeah, but yeah,
No,
maybe
no,
it
no, no,
was
no, but no,
it
no, no.
was their wife,
You,
okay?
no, no, no. You're changing the frame because what you said was a dude just came up and showed you
I
pictures.
didn't change shit about what
You
I
did.
said.
You
Huh?
absolutely did. Like I
What
said,
did
it's
I
the framing of it.
change? No, okay, stop.
Simply put, and I'll
Bro,
just say it like this.
hey
I'll say it
man,
like
please,
this.
how the weather looking over there? Is it raining?
No, fuck that. I'm gonna say it like this. It's not that I came out and just asked random people what's your sex. No, it's just that yes, when I'm out and about, sometimes when I'm at a certain place, sometimes the conversations leads that direction. Am I saying it's an everyday conversation? No, but I have heard from people who I don't know just talking that brought that shit up, and yeah, let me know about it.
So again, now we're back to square one. You've been in random places with random people you don't know that start talking about fucking their wife.
I want to say something about fucking the Bible.
Oh,
I would
fuck
say,
that.
I would
Oh,
say, I will
no,
say, I
we're
will
done
say.
here.
Hold on, let me fucking finish. Shit. I would say they would bring up like their sex life. Yeah.
We're done here. We're fucking done here.
So yes, I have been in settings where yes, at least they told me that they were married. That yes, they did talk about their sex life. Yes. Now, well, I should say in that setting, yes. Now, does it happen all the time? No, but has it happened in every like once or twice or three times in my life? Yeah,
Yep.
100. Yeah,
How many
exactly.
of those ended up with, do you want to sleep with my wife?
Um,
Oh, this motherfucker got to think about it. Oh, shit.
well, because I've
Oh
been.
my gosh. All right, we have an
Wait,
exclusive. She is
wait
a
a
freak.
second.
She is a
Wait a second.
freak. Oh,
Wait a
shit.
second. Wait a second. No,
Freak
no, no, no,
and
no, no,
freak
no.
ain't
It's
get
not
at
that.
you.
It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's just that question has came up before. I just don't remember if it's in the context of that conversation.
Shit.
So I had to think about it.
The hole that you dug in this conversation is so deep.
God damn. I didn't know he was a freak like that. Oh man, this motherfucking G out of control.
You can put a adult tree in this hole.
God damn, he was like, hell yeah, I'll do that shit. Oh man.
No, I've never done that. At least not knowingly. No, never done it.
What? You can't not knowingly have invitation and then accept it.
No, I never accept it. So like that.
This motherfucker, man, B, who you be hanging out with? Cause this motherfucker G got random people coming up like, hey, come on, bone my chick. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it right now. And he thinks about it too. Freak, man.
The dog story, I don't know. Doris, can you chip in?
I'm over here eating. I haven't been paying attention.
Oh man, you haven't heard about Freak Man? Oh shit, that's his new name, G the Freak Man. Yeah. So, yeah, good luck, bro. But I still agree with B. Now I agree with him even more, Freak Man.
G the freak. G the freak.
You know what I'm saying? G a super freak.
How
Again,
did you get in the conversation with that? Like, what's going on?
G a freak, man. G be getting random fucking people hitting him up talking about bone my wife.
Oh.
He said, oh. And then again, Lord said, oh, and got off. Like, uh-oh.
Some people weird, so.
Hey, I think G lying, though. I think he did accept. That's why he's so quiet.
No, I didn't accept.
Freak man. Yeah, that's you.
I did accept.
He accepted my head. Oh, you a freak. Damn.
Oh, shit.
I think we should move on before G incriminate himself anymore.
Yeah, we went to deeper territories. What's going on?
Because G is crazy, but he's also a freak now. I mean, he should change the subject really quickly before he digs himself any worse into this. Because I'm gonna want to know details, freak man.
I never did it with somebody's wife.
You a damn lie.
Never did with somebody's
Polygraph
wife.
out.
Never did with somebody's wife. I don't do that.
Freak man.
I have never slept with the man's wife.
Bullshit.
At least not knowingly.
Come on, man. You can't lie about it. Come on. You amongst friends here and all of our listeners.
Who asked this question again?
G.
No, I did it.
G.
I did not ask this question. That's
How did
not
you
what
not ask this question?
He put himself in a deep hole.
Yeah. Yeah, he got a shovel out. Quick. Where we going with this freak man?
I'm just gonna put on record. I never slept with another man's wife.
I'm gonna put it on record too. G a freak man. Come on, man. Keep going somewhere else with this, cause you a freak.
No. I'm gonna
tell you right now. You keep going on this topic, you're gonna have to change your whole name.
Listen, I never slept with another man. I never slept with another man's wife, and I'm gonna stick to that.
Yeah, you never slept with a man's wife while he was in the room, freak man.
It's never happened.
Come on, freak man. I keep trying. Hey, B, I keep trying to get this motherfucker out. He's not listening.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna let you hold that narrative.
That's a good topic, though.
Yeah, freak man.
It do happen. So then it's like, how does it happen?
Well, shit. If G know, freak man over there know firsthand. He got random people coming up to him like, "Hey, man, come sleep with my wife. Let's do it." And freak man probably be like, "Hell yeah, let me get my freak man costume." Do you have a costume?
No.
You do, huh?
No.
Oh man, you do. What is it? Is it a cape? You got a cape, or is it like a mask?
It has to be a mask.
You know what I'm saying?
with the math, and CG got twists too, so he's gonna be a little more interesting.
This conversation done went too far.
Oh man.
I'm not gonna let that narrative go out there. No, I am never slept with another man's wife.
Oh my gosh. Without wearing the freak man costume, right?
Man, do you have a tuxedo on?
Oh shit. What's your superpower, G? I'm freak man. He humps random chicks with in a single night. He's freak man.
Oh shit.
That's why he said Rick James earlier.
I did say Rick James because I was listening to it, and then freak man over here just fucked everything up because he a super freak. All right, G, come on, man. You just ain't got no more topics or what?
I'm trying to make sure. I'm trying to figure out how to get myself out this hole to make sure that this
You
narrative
never
is not put out there.
That will never happen, bro. You need to, when you're editing this and you hear what you fucking said, you'll be like, oh shit. That's it though. Everybody on here heard you say the same shit. You
Not
talk
me.
to random people, except for North, she was eating. But you said you talk to random fucking strangers about their sex lives.
Well, again, the conversation came up. Yes.
And everybody agreed. When conversations like that come up, usually it's accompanied by, you want to fuck my wife. And then you got real quiet. And
Because I had to think if that situation came up in the premise of that conversation.
And then you never rebutted it. So
Because I had to think about if that in the premise of that conversation actually came up with that premise of that conversation. I don't remember.
uh-huh. You ever stolen somebody's car?
No.
See how quick that came up? When I said, hey man, anybody actually fuck their wife? It was like 10 minutes of quietness from G. Oh, G a freak. All right. Ain't that much goddamn thinking in the world for that.
That doesn't mean I did it.
Oh, hey, I'm not accusing you of doing it or not, freak man. All I know is you a freak man. So the chances of you probably have done it, yeah, probably. So this would be one time where you could be like, damn. So if anybody ever asks me if I want to be a superhero, I can say I am. I'll be freak man, fucking random chicks' wives and shit. So you know what I'm saying? That's my superpower. You kind of like an equivalent of Batman. It's not really a superpower, but you know, in real life, if you would have ever met Batman, you'd have thought he's a fucking douchebag. But, you know, Freak Man over here, kind of same shit.
When will you release this Magna, G?
See the silence? I'm just saying, dog.
I just gotta say, offers do not mean acceptance.
Uh-huh.
That's
Uh-huh. But at the beginning of the conversation, there was never an offer. So now there is. Freak Man. So how long is it gonna be in this conversation till you actually admit that you freak man?
No, I'm not. I
Look,
never slept with another man's wife. That I can honestly say. At least not
well,
knowingly.
without him being there. I get it.
No. No. Never slept with another man's wife. Never slept with another man's wife when he was there. Never done it.
Yeah, okay. Sure, freak man. We're gonna believe it. Just like that Batman never, when he's Bruce Wayne, he'll never tell people he be beating the shit out of them in the midnights. Don't worry, Batman. I mean freak man. I mean G.
But have any of y'all you ever been to those family dinners? Have any of y'all ever lost a family member over like a politics discussion because that's what I've been hearing about from a couple of people, and I'm in the mindset of if that's how it is, I will purposely get into an argument of politics with somebody who I like one of my family members if it's a thing where over politics they would just like disown me because I ain't think we gotta agree, but if you got an issue with my opinion, I'd rather you just get the fuck on in the first place.
I say you just gotta know who you're talking to.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think the crazy thing, there's a story I heard about this kid because this was I want to say 4 years ago. This kid basically sent his parents to jail because over politics. I'm like, that's fucking insane. And that's why I'm just kind of at the premise of like because it's kind of like our friendship. Like we don't always get along, but we can still stay friends, you know? And I've been seeing that slowly change over the years. If our friendship is defined on on basically politics, I don't know if I could just and like if that like if you think a different way, that's just where our friendship has to end. I would rather just end it like right away and not waste any fucking time.
Well, that's why you have different type of friends. You have friends who you can talk politics with, friends that you get
Mhm.
bullshit with. You might have versatile you could talk about all topics with. It's like both saying for family member, core, and anyone. You gotta know who you're talking to.
Here's a question. It's vague, but what would you say makes a friend? Because I just been kind of like think about this question. I came to the statement, which I think I told you before, that if I got to work hard to be your friend, I'd rather not be your friend.
Well, friends is pretty much just who you cool with, and just how
Yeah,
much time you spend with the person, you know. So if you spend a long time with that person, you might call you brother, and if you're part of the family and all that other stuff.
yeah,
Some people are, they're friends for a year, and you might never even hear from them again.
yeah.
But
Facts.
while they were there, they were hella cool.
Yeah.
So
I mean, heck, you even have friends that you like. Like I have plenty of friends. I mean, even you and I went through it where we don't talk for months and then we come back and it just continues.
mhm. Yeah, so it's just pretty much just who you cool with at that time. You know, and through the test of time, you realize if they're really there for a long term or the short term. Regardless, their contributions help you out throughout life. Uh, um, Everyone who I don't talk to anymore, I remember them well. I remember their contributions, how they helped me, and so forth. And I will never forget that. You know. And if I ever see him again, I'll talk to you like we like years even passed by. you know, because you didn't do nothing to hurt me or anything like that. Or if you did, we got over it. We talked about it, got over it quickly. You know, there's no hard feelings or nothing like that. So it's as long as no one's out here trying to hurt me or whatever, I'm cool.
So
You know.
then, so then, what is your range when you stop talking to somebody when they stop being a friend?
Well, I just think that this is naturally just past. Um, I said, if for me personally, if I ain't talk to you and you ain't talk to me, it just goes away. I don't think about it. There's no hard feelings or anything like that. And then, like I said, that person might come back in a few years or whatever, just saying what's up, and we would just continue on where we left. you know, uh, no hard feelings, no nothing like that. Um, like I said, me personally, I don't shut off. There hasn't been really a lot of scenarios with me where I just had to cut people off. You know,
Oh, I've
uh,
had plenty of those. Plenty of people I've cut off.
well, not for people when we start talking, it just naturally happens. The scenario change. I had homies in school. I don't go to school no more. We're all doing our own thing. We just naturally stopped talking. No hard feelings between anybody. I don't hate that man and that person don't hate me. It's just we just moved on in life. It just naturally just moving, just like you be at a job. Like I stopped my job not too long ago. I met some cool people, and we had a lot of conversations and everything, But I said now I'm done. I'm not really. I, I'm not putting no effort in, trying to stay in contact. Neither that person trying to put in the effort and trying to stay in contact with me. Do I hate that person? Hell no. He's a homie. He's cool.
Okay, a really great question from Norris just got asked. Like I said, Norris still here by the way, but he's doing something. But it's a really, but Norris has a good question. He said, "Oh, do politics belong in friendships?" The question. So the question is, do politics belong in friendships?
That's for James.
That's for you. No, that's from Norris. Norris is doing something right now, but he asked the question: do politics belong in friendships?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Well, it's because there's politics in everything. There's politics in friendship because there's rules set. There's politics in marriage, politics between family members and households. Me and my family, we know what to do. There's certain things we just cannot do in my family. you know, uh, 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 that's the politics of my household. Just like friendships, I know there's certain things I can't do around with you guys. Vice versa with me. So yeah, I mean, there has to be rules and politics and whatever you do. You know,
To answer that question, I say no.
why is that?
Yeah, that's what everybody gonna wonder, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Because I say it like this: politics are created to create division. Yes or no?
Yeah, I agree. 110%.
So now, because we're going to decide to get into politics, I should or shouldn't be your friend because of this or that, and we have a friends on.
Well,
Well,
you broke
yeah,
up.
you broke up. You broke up. You broke up at the end.
I said I should or shouldn't be your friend because me or you have a disagreement on a particular topic or subject or things. That's what it all leads to, honestly. Like, come on, let's be real. Whether it's gender, race, religion, don't matter. All it'll create a division, right? You versus me, whether it's Democrat or Republican or, come on, obvious, right? All that stuff is obvious. I think. Is it or is it not? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can only speak about my friendships, and I never. That's not the key of my friendships. It's like us having a difference of opinion. Like, yeah, I agree. I don't think it belongs in a friendship conversation because naturally we're gonna have differences. But like I tell people all the time, I've had Republican friends and we were cool. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Every what's called 4 years for like 4 months, yeah, we couldn't stand each other. But after that, we were good friends because we even though we disagree here, we related in other ways. So I would never allow politics to define my friendships. That's probably the best way that I can put it. I don't let politics define my friendships. I I think what defines my friendships is characters, who you are as a person. Are you there? Are you there when nobody else is there? Things like that. Things that actually matter is what I really say that defines my friendship, not politics. Politics that will never be a defining factor of my friendships because it never has been in my life.
So going back to my question,
Mhm.
the reason why I stated that is because not so long ago we had things like segregation and all that stuff amongst people and blah blah blah, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the politics, it kind of brought us together in a certain sense. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, yes.
And that's why I don't this let me finish real
Okay,
quick.
go ahead.
This is why I don't like politics being involved in certain ways. I should specify that.
Mhm.
It might bring things together, it might separate things out, do different damages or healing. The problem is a lot of the time that I've seen politics being played on how it plays it's a game of manipulation, really, to me,
Yeah.
that separates people because of certain things. And it all it does is make everybody mad.
It does unless you have something to unite against.
Yeah, but like how often are we uniting against what? Like that's the part of the problem. Because I go, the politics that we use today aren't necessarily the things that are going to make tomorrow better.
I think it depends on what side you're on, what side you're on with that, because that's really
Exactly.
what.
You
Yeah.
saying size and stuff. You said bring things together. What are we bringing together to make us together? That like, are you seeing the conversation here?
Yeah, but I think the conversation is very very complex.
Nah, not really, but okay.
I mean, I think it is because because at that point it depends on what we're talking about. Are we talking about just between a group of guys? Are we talking about the masses? Are we talking about like culture? Like all that is different.
Yeah. So then, where do politics apply? Let's do that then, huh?
Mm. Okay, this is a deep. Okay, I gotta think about this one. Where do politics apply? Well, they be said it best. Politics can be applied any place where you decide to apply it at.
I
Whether
know they can be,
Mhm.
but where should or shouldn't they be?
Oh, or should or shouldn't they be? They should only be applied in the. It should only be implied in the. Hmm, hmm. How can I answer this? I guess depending on what sense, but I'll just say this because it's the only thing that pops into my mind. And again, I'm not stuck on what I'm about to say, but I would say it should only be applied in decisions that are going to help. Mm, probably gonna say fuck. I'll just say it. Um, it should only be applied in ways to help the benefit. Hmm, damn, I don't know how to say
You saying exactly right. That's the funny part about it,
it.
because that's how politics work. That's why they kind of were created.
Yeah, so I guess I would say they're supposed to be utilized in the benefits of for others or the masses, I guess. I
And do
was
you see how that construct of sentencing structure benefits some and not others?
Yeah, but well, I guess I would say I guess another way I could say it is that it's supposed to be utilized in areas that is supposed to wind up with the best results possible. And the reason why it gets complicated because that result could be different for every person depending on
I
what
feel
side you're
like
on.
that is a missing, all right, incomplete sentence.
Okay, I'm willing to because like I said, I'm not stuck in what I'm saying. So
You said, say it again.
I said another way to frame oh shit.
Yeah, past that
I
to
know.
benefit or be the best for who?
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be utilized to figure out the best outcome for either a group or society. Probably the better way to say it. So basically, it's an argument for the best ideas.
But do you see how there's division there?
Yes, 110%. Because the ideas can be different depending on who you talk to.
So to kind of try to uncomplicate it,
Hmm.
we need to be so specific in our wording that sometimes we're overdoing it. And then sometimes we need to be so specific that we're underdoing it. So then therein lies a lot of different issues that we are dealing with today, wouldn't you say?
I will also add interpretation is also an issue.
I guess. Does
Well,
anybody else agree with what I'm talking about here or understand?
yeah. B.
Yeah, and I get it. But I said, I also go along in the line of, well, if this conversation is still on friends, you know, what you guys are actually trying to build here, because politics, yes, it could be corrupt if you use it in a corrupt way, but it also could be good as well. It just depends on what you guys are actually trying to do and build, and make sure you guys that the goal between both all the parties that's involved with it agree with the simple rules to keep this politics together.
I just want to say that to me that doesn't apply to friends at all. There's no way that that statement can apply to friends.
As I said, well, again, like I said, it just depends what you're trying to do with the friend group. Are you trying to build? Are you trying to build something? Gather a team. Then you got everyone got to sit down on what they actually want in this.
But that does not make a friend.
But
Building.
wait, before we go too
Okay,
far,
go
real
ahead,
quick,
go ahead,
because I feel like
Go ahead.
he touched on something that people skip over real fast.
Mhm.
He said two different parties coming to an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
Right.
That is part of the solution and or problem. That's why we all can't get along. Is that making sense?
No, I do. Like I said, whoever you do this with, it's a very tricky situation. you know.
And we're complicated as humans. We're complicating it because even though it could be that simplistic to sit up there and say this and this to come to agreement of a compromise for this, it's not that simplistic more than half of the time because there's other parties involved with other minute, or I won't even say small, but very niche differences about certain things, topics, and whatever might be involved in that. And that's where all of our problems lie. So then we're stuck with a constant blanket generalization
Mm-hmm.
instead of fixing all these specific things. And that's why it's become so complex of a supposed problem now. Because everything's not working for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I said, well, when it goes to that, like I said, I know everyone can't be on the same team, and not everyone's going to benefit or want to benefit or wants to even agree upon a plan. It's hard for that to happen with people, that to get the whole group on the same page and everyone agree. That's why when it comes to, these sort of things, when you're trying to evolve, build something or create a community or whatever, I always try to make general rules, is rules that are easy to follow and make sense. I'm not here to please everybody because everyone got their own goals and their own mission. If you want your goals to be applied, hell, make your own sector and group, and go create your own thing, But I just make common and simple rules that everyone can follow. And if they can't follow the simple rules, then they're gone. For instance, let's go to the Telegram group. I think everyone can agree if someone is threatening you and your family, that person got to go.
Of course, easily.
I think everyone can agree if there's, creeps, especially targeting children, or harassing the women in the group, they got to go. And then you have a certain, yeah. So I try to when I create groups, I try to keep things just as simple as that, because when you're trying to get certain benefits, now you got to add a console, You got a group of men that you could talk to that's going to be the leaders of this whole unit, right? It's just like when they were doing well, it's just like with any kind of contracts and laws, there's only a few people in that room, they make all the decisions the best that they can for their team or group, and if people want to add more to it, they'll collect the information, and then when they can, they will add more to it. But in the meantime, we got to get the basics down, the basic understandings. All right, and that's pretty much what I focus on any group that I do. It's just the basic.
And it makes great sense. Only issue is, what about the manipulation that happens and transpires, as we've more than likely either experienced, seen, or heard about?
Well, like I said, that's that's why you gotta have a console. People by your side that could have your back. Um, because like I said, when you're making a group, it just cannot be only you. That's the whole purpose of group building or creating teams. You can't be the only eye in it that gets it, that can see, because that's impossible to see any enemy trying to attack or whatever. There's just too many tricks and too many plays out there for only one man can handle. You're going to need a console. You're going to need help to build it. Depending on what size of the team you're trying to build. If it's a very small team, then yeah, probably you can handle it. I'll handle it all. Um, I can handle a team to probably about 10 people. And then after that, I want to need help. you know, I want to need other authorities to help me with building this team. That's able to keep the laws. You know, and if I find out there's any foul plays, then they got to go. You know, but I said, but that comes over time. It's baby steps. You know. Um,
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to see, because I go, technically in the creation of America, wasn't there like 3 parties involved?
yeah, but like I said, but the history, like I said, they weren't for us in the beginning. There was always there to please a certain crowd. Um, um,
But that's what I'm also kind of getting at in the sense with the original statement when you said between 2 parties.
mhm.
In this case, in scenario, we have 3 parties, a bunch of different people, of course, but 3 different main parties involved. And do you see the issue? Because there's the middle person that's making the deals.
Middleman's
And
horrible.
you seeing what I'm just saying.
Oof, man, I hate
And
the
then it's
middleman.
like sometimes in certain situations, you making this one friend happy, but you not making the other one happy. Everybody ain't gonna be happy, like you said, right? And from G's statement, it's about making everybody happy.
I don't know about that, but okay. Oh, yeah. My fault. Yeah. I'm with you. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Let's just keep going into the circle that is in.
Yeah, go ahead.
The point is everybody seeing what's being stated. It's so obvious, but hard to talk about. So somehow, some way, I don't know.
I get you.
And it's not hard to talk about. It's hard to resolve, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, well, if if these been the rules and how the stuff been going and yada yada yada, maybe the stuff doesn't work right now, like for the circumstances. Is that a thing? Maybe.
But yeah, I think that knowing the nature of man is just really a situation that can even be fixed. You know, um, I mean, I can't think of a time period that everyone is unified and there was everyone agreed and there was no problems. You know, that's kind of like guaranteed at this point when you're trying to build something. You know, if you are in charge of the building process of it, you have to do everything in your power to protect yourself. You know, like I say, if you're joining any other union, then the most likely the rules is already defined anyway. You just gotta go in and just play by the book. Until you get tired of it, or they're not playing, or it goes against what you believe, and you have to go. But the unification of man or parties being perfect and good, I that's gonna have to be proven to me. can can it be done? I would never say it can't. It couldn't, you know. But I just don't know of a time period when it was actually when unities got together and everything was perfect, fine for a long period of time. Of course, things tend to weaken from generation to generation. It might start off well, but the next group of people that comes in, they can't keep the unity,
Well, it
right?
depends on the group that you're talking about. Well, you say it starts off well and then it can deteriorate. Depends on how you frame that. But anyways, go ahead.
I mean, do you know of a time when it might look like it started off great, and then through time it still kept the integrity?
Oh, no, okay, my fault. Okay, I thought you were saying that there is a time, like I've never seen a time where it started off. Do I remember it? Okay, well, can you ask that again? No, I'll answer that question. Go
Uh,
ahead.
yeah, I was saying anything of a time period where it may look good starting off, and then it kept the integrity of being that strong throughout time.
Mm. Well, I could say this. I know of a time where it started off bad for a group of people, then got better, and then started going back down again. And I'm sure you know what group I'm talking about.
Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's always gonna be ups and downs within in building something. Um, it's frustrating, yes. I'm pretty sure Dave know about it a lot. But for him being having his own team, trying to build, or even Norris, you have your having your own team, you know, trying to keep the team together, try to keep the team as happy as possible. So going to beefs and battles for no damn reason, delaying the progress. you know,
All right,
you know.
so I kind of want to roll this back to the earlier conversation that we were about to have. When you were talking about friendships being on the same page and building something together.
Friendships being on the same. Okay, what about it?
Uh, I mean, building stuff and being on the same page together has nothing. Well, okay, maybe not the same page, but building stuff together has nothing to do with friendship. Going in the
Well,
same direction has nothing to do with friendship.
I mean, it can. Your friendship can literally be based off you guys dealing together.
Uh, I mean, a friendship could be built in many different ways, but I would still
Yeah.
sit there and saying building is not the premise of a friendship at all. I
No,
mean,
no, no. I never
yeah.
claimed it to be. Yeah.
Well, you kind of were saying that, like that's what I at least took from what you were saying earlier, where you're like, we all got to build together and be on the same page. I'm like, no, that to me that has nothing to do
No,
with the
no, but
friendship.
no, I said because it was led to the politics of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Because I mean, I guess I'll just say it like this. Yeah, you don't need to build anything together and still be friends.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
has
fine.
nothing to do with it. I yeah, that to me has nothing to do with a friendship. I think just in general, a friendship is, are you it's just real simple. Are you there for certain key moments, Are you there without question, Do we always have to be on the same page? No. But do I know you have my back? Crap like that. It's that little stuff. Like we don't even have to be in the same industry and still be friends.
Mhm.
I don't have to agree. I don't have to agree with anything that you're about and still be friends. I mean, hell, listen to this podcast. We argue all the time. I still consider you guys my friends.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, hell, I mean, like I said, you and me were beefing for a little while. We're
We
still
argue
friends.
on here?
But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think like that building or being on the same page has anything. I think that's what it is. I think to be a friend is having a basic understanding of each other. That's what I'm trying to say. I think if you have a basic understanding of each other, I think from there you could be friends. That's the premise of it. That's how I would say it. A basic understanding.
Yeah. Oh, that's very good relationships,
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And I would say that's, like you said, that's true with all almost every relationship out there.
I hope the relationship is good. At least.
Mm-hmm.
It leads to a lot of problems. I wouldn't want for nobody. But yeah. I'm pretty much saying everything I need to say, I think.
So with that being said, I want to thank y'all for checking out another podcast. I want to thank B. I want to thank Norris. I want to thank James. I want to thank Keith for being on this podcast. Definitely appreciate it. Make sure on your way out to subscribe or follow, depending on your platform. Make sure to hit that like button. Also, if you want to catch this podcast on different audio platforms, check the links down below. Also, check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description Podcast over there on YouTube. Check out the Instagram, opinion_peas_network. I gotta post more over there, but we are over there. And with that being said, I want to thank y'all. I appreciate y'all, and we will be back next week with a new episode. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.